counted him out.
Yep. It was fucking epic. And I don't use that term ever, but that was fucking epic. It was great.
You know, and then he got counted out.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, Alberto Del Rio beat Cody and his team won.
Oh, of course.
But it was a great main event.
Yes.
To a solid SmackDown. You know, they had this. They tied up both world title and tag matches.
Yeah.
They covered the CM Punk and the Shield and the Rock.
They got everything done.
And they talked about the Rumble throughout the pay-per-view. So they covered the entire pay-per-view, start to finish. It was probably the best go-home show since we've started the show for SmackDown.
I would say it probably has been, and especially because, again, TNA, this was a go-home show. And they managed to make a more entertaining program than you could even...
But that's apples and oranges, though.
I guess.
You can't really compare one to the other, obviously.
It's smiles and hookers.
Yeah, one has The Rock versus CM Punk. The other one has smiles and hookers.
Yes, that's true.
So,
that's true.
Anyways, we do get to the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
I mean, we are blasting through most of this stuff, but we're going to be having a discussion about everything that went down on both the end of Rumble and the end of Raw.
Yes.
Quickly, I mean, the world title match was good.
It was.
It wasn't an ending that we haven't seen before.
No, it's been.
I think Batista went down to the same ending.
He did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there was a Hitman signing because he needed a paycheck.
Yeah, of course, and I'm cool with that.
And you know,
Hitman's awesome.
Ricky Ricardo marked out and he got the sunglasses. And
Which
that was cool.
Yeah, that was really funny. That was cute. I like that.
It was a quick, solid match.
Yeah.
Usually world title matches are boring at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember that one year where it was Brock Lesnar versus Hardcore Holly?
Oh God, yeah.
It was 10 minutes long. You know, it was a joke.
Jesus, yeah, I remember that.
So this was
God,
good.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Wow.
But this is Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio, and this is a good feud.
It is. I like it.
Unlike
I like it a
the
lot.
Big Show Sheamus feud, this one's good
This
because
is
both
good.
guys are solid. They're doing solid matches.
Mm-hmm. The matches are good. The
it looks like it's going to
excellent.
continue after this.
Oh, yes, it will, and I like it.
Ziggler had an interview saying no matter if he's one or two, he's going to steal the show because he's the show off.
I'm sure he is.
And he had his little catchphrase, you know, show off.
Show off, which I actually kind of like.
I do.
It's cool. It works. It works. Yeah.
And then the third segment, they did something that they haven't done in a while since the 80s, I believe, where they had, like, guy after guy.
Well, I don't know if it was from the 80s, but, like, maybe early 90s,
yeah,
for
where
sure.
they had guy after guy.
Just talking about how they're going to win the Royal Rumble.
With, like, the theme music in the background.
Yeah. I miss those kind of fucking promos. I miss that. I really wish they would do a throwback show where everybody's cutting a promo, where they're standing in front of a blue screen, and behind them is fucking, like, their logo.
Yeah.
I miss that shit, and this almost seemed the same.
Well, the problem is I don't think they have logos, most of them. The top guys do.
They could make logos for these people. It wouldn't be that hard. Just didn't
they do that? Like, they did a Retro Raw, like, a couple years ago, and I think they did that.
I probably wasn't watching at that point. I've been going in and out for, like, the last 5 years, so...
So after that...
Yeah.
Match number 2, tag titles. Another solid match, nothing crazy.
Yeah,
These guys couldn't overexert themselves because all 4 of them were in the Rumble.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, every match on, you know, every match is that where fucking Christ, English. Every match that you had where somebody else was going to be in the Rumble, they were very careful with themselves.
Yeah. Then after that match, after Hell No successfully defended, which we were surprised by.
I couldn't believe that. That was
win.
fucked up. Yeah, I honestly, I'm kind of glad though, because this sort of, I mean, I love Team Hell No. I think they need to keep that going, and I'm hoping. I know it's probably not, but I'm hoping this just means this is one step closer to splitting up fucking Road Scholars. Because Sandow does not need to be saddled with that asshole.
No, with the mustache.
Yeah, and I know that sort of goes against everything I said about tag teams, but really, Sandow was way too good to waste with Cody Rhodes.
Well, they weren't a tag team; they were 2 guys from together.
Yeah.
Right. So, Vicky gives Hell No their numbers just for a funny segment.
Yep.
Where Daniel Bryan, I'll show you mine and you show me yours.
Yeah.
It was literally just one big dick joke.
Yep.
It was hilarious, and from what I've heard. Since Linda lost her campaign, I think they're slowly moving towards TV 14. Not making it a public thing.
No.
They're slowly doing it, and this shades of that are being shown in that kind of
That's
promo.
the thing. You and I were talking about that a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. We heard that this was possibly happening. I hope so, because of especially what happens in the rest of the Rumble with a couple people who show up in the Rumble. We'll get to that in a moment.
And they do the Rumble. So we were debating whether they were going to pull the trigger and have the Rumble before the World Title match, and I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
Because you cannot have Rock and Punk go on before the Rumble because no one will have anything left.
The crowd will be dead by the time you get to that.
And no one will care about the Rumble.
Exactly. So they made a good move.
So they did the Rumble first. Mm-hmm. It was a good Rumble.
It was a very good Rumble, actually.
Jericho came in at number 2.
Which was awesome.
And from the notes, I'm hearing he signed on through WrestleMania.
Good.
So he will be having, a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. He was on Raw.
Yep. Goldust returned.
Oh, that was so awesome.
And him and Cody went at it.
They went at it, which was great.
That might be a potential match down the road.
I hope so, because I fucking loved...
Or down the roads, if you will.
Yeah. Nice. Nah, that was bad.
No.
I gave it to you, and then... No, that was pretty cheesy, but I still love when Goldust was coming out, and they just showed a close-up of Cody.
Yep.
And he's just like, fucking come on. Yep. Let's do this. That was fucking awesome.
They did the obligatory Kofi spot.
Yeah, which
was unfortunate for Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
Who is entering this Rumble for the first time ever, and his whole entrance and first little fisticuffs were covered because the camera was panned on Kofi Kingston pogoing to the ring in a chair.
In a chair. Because he...
it was clever.
It was,
I'll give it to him, but
and
it took way too much time.
Yes, and I love the fact that after all of that shit, he didn't even make it back in the ring.
No, Jericho did.
Jericho just fucking kicked him out. That was great.
The Rumble was solid.
It was great. I liked it.
Cena won.
Wait, we're getting. I'm going back to my whole TV14 thing. Another guy showed up.
The Godfather.
The Godfather showed up.
Who I don't know if he broke the record, but
no, he didn't. He didn't. Apparently, he was in a little bit longer. Okay. But yeah, Godfather showed up with the hose.
Granted, there were 2 of them, and they weren't as scantily as usual.
No.
But they were there.
But I mean, again, that's 14. That ain't what it used to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he lasted 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
He got in the ring.
It was clever though. He got in the ring, got eliminated. He's like, whatever. Give my hat back. Give my coat back. We'll go back.
Exactly, and just go back and have fun. That was good. That was well done. And again,
solid Rumble.
Yeah.
Guys really tried really hard. It was probably the best Rumble in, I'd say, the last 5 years.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. I was getting excited when I knew that was coming out.
2007, 2008. Yeah. I think those are the last good ones.
It might have been that. Yeah, you're right.
Because the last 3 have been
abysmal.
Maybe the last 4, 09, 10, 11, and 12 are not the greatest. They're okay.
I mean, last year was the only Rumble I didn't see. That's the only Rumble in my life I haven't seen. I didn't think I missed much, but I mean, just because I've seen every other one, I need to see it. Yeah, but yeah, no.
But it was a great Rumble.
It was good. I liked
Cena
it.
Won.
Which
predictable. I'm not mad.
No.
I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And people on the internet are just like, oh, they could have thrown this as a surprise. Why? They have WrestleMania plans.
Yeah.
They can't fuck it up just because
some guy something different.
Some guy on the internet wants Chris Jericho to come back and be world champion.
Thing. Is Jericho not good enough? I mean, Jericho seemed like a surprise to me.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't...
Him being in the ring
was enough
for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Should be good enough. But no, they want him to win.
Hey, I'd love Jericho to be the world champion, but guess what? He's not going to be, at least not now. And I mean,
especially because he signed a contract through WrestleMania and that's it.
Yeah. We don't know if he's going to stick around. He might go back out on tour with Fozzy.
Exactly.
I mean...
This brings up a point that actually I was brought back to my attention in, like, of all things, meme online.
Okay.
Where they're just like, people have problems with The Rock coming and going, but Chris Jericho's been doing it too, but everyone just forgives Chris Jericho.
You know what?
Because he comes and goes.
But here's
just as much as The Rock.
You know what? I don't know, because you cut back to the punk rock episode we had where we had the big fight, and I was complaining that Rock wasn't there enough. So I could
maybe
sort of be
Jericho
one of those
was
people.
There every week.
But yeah, I think that's my thing. I think that's why it's more acceptable. I mean, but there are certain people I won't accept. Like, I don't accept The Rock. I mean, again, I love The Rock. We've gone through. I'm nostalgic as fuck for The Rock. Mm-hmm. But I mean, to me, The Rock is much like Brock Lesnar, who, by the way, everybody is perfectly fine with Brock Lesnar coming back and working one match every.
That's different because he's physically unable to work a regular schedule because of his internal problems.
Then get the fuck out of the ring.
No, he could do a match ever so often.
I don't buy it.
If The Rock and Chris Jericho could do a match ever so often, Brock Lesnar could do a match ever so often.
Yeah.
But he has a valid excuse why he can't do a weekly schedule.
But here's my thing.
Chris Jericho doesn't have that excuse right now because he's not on tour.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
And The Rock's world champion, so he has to be.
Well, the Rock, I don't accept him being the champion. But again, we'll get to that when we get to that point. But My thing with Brock Lesnar as well. I mean, okay, yeah,
you don't like him too.
No, I don't. But here's another. Like, I know about his physical injuries, and I always make the joke, and when they're in the ring, why doesn't somebody just kick him in the kidney and that's it, we're good. But here's my problem with Brock Lesnar being accepted back perfectly fine. When he left the WWE, he made some really bad remarks about the company.
Yeah.
And I'm okay, generally I know, wrestlers when they go to other promotions and whatnot.
Right.
They'll diss WWE.
Are we getting a little too far ahead of ourselves here?
Are we really?
About Brock?
Yeah, true. All right, well, yeah, we'll talk about that when I get to it. I'm sure I'll forget. But
I mean, it was a big topic. That's why we're jumping the gun on it. But we have a world title match. We got a lot of shit
to talk about.
The Rock had probably the best promo of this whole run.
Yeah,
he had the serious promo talking about how he took him 10 years to get back to the match.
Let me steal from The Rock for a minute and just go, finally!
Yeah.
He finally did what he was supposed to do this whole fucking time.
He talked about his mom having cancer and beating it, and he's like, he reaches hands out, your hands out, touch my hand, Serious fucking shit.
Yeah.
Of course you knew after this promo was cut, he's gonna win, it's guaranteed. Like, you can't cut a promo like this. Not fucking winning.
Yeah, well, basically, we both looked at each other and just went, so he's winning.
Yep. The match happened.
Yeah.
It was a good match, other than that one botch thing where the table collapsed.
But that's not their fault.
That's an act of that's a table malfunction. That's not either man's fault.
Those tables are made out of fucking cardboard. Yeah. What do you expect?
And he made up for it by rock bonding him on the floor.
So he's like, well, oh shit, that fucked up. And they sold it well. Yeah. When the table collapsed, they both sold it insanely well.
The Shield came out in the dark.
Yes, the lights went out and the Shield showed up.
Punk got the pin.
Yep.
And we knew it wasn't the end because it was like 10:42.
Yeah,
They're not going to end it there. Vinnie Mac's music hits. He's going to strip Punk of the title because, of course, that's the Shield. Who else would it be?
Yep.
The Rock says, "You're not taking the title from him. I'm taking the title for him." And
restart the match.
And at one point you're like, "Okay, that's fine. Restart the match." But at another point you're like, "No, you." 1, 2, 3. The ref didn't see anything.
Yeah.
So he can't do anything.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you look
legally,
at it.
he did.
Yeah, you look at it, but at the same time, you see Vince's point.
Yeah.
Because somebody did say that they saw him. You know what I mean? Like, there's proof, and like, even Vince said, like, we saw it was the Shield.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, Vince's word is law. So if he's saying he saw the Shield, you have to abide by it. They've done this shit before, where the Jack Tunney or Vince or whoever says they saw something over the referee and they overturn it.
So we restart the match.
Say much. Restarted.
Go. People's elbow.
Well,
Rock
you and I called it basically the second they said they're going to restart it. Yep. This is exactly what's going to happen, and basically it was exactly what you'd expect. Is
Punk goes for the go to sleep. Rock
counters it, hits the rock bottom.
Spinebuster.
Spinebuster.
People's elbow. 1, 2, 3. Actually, people are actually complaining. Why did he beat him with the people's elbow, not the rock bottom? He has beaten people with the people's elbow.
Yeah, and
he beat Hulk Hogan. He beat Triple H. He's beaten people with it.
And not to mention, he's already done a rock bottom. Right. You saw it. You're good.
Yeah, a couple times. So that's the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Solid show. Pay-per-view.
Solid show. Worth the money.
Best Rumble in a long time. Buddies that we saw it with actually said they were going to get on DVD. Was that good?
Yeah, exactly. Which,
say what you want about The Rock winning the world title. Say what you want about John Cena winning the Rumble. I'm not personally happy with either, but
what can you do? It's fine.
It's business is business. We'll talk about it on another episode leading closer to WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, that's
obviously.
the thing. I think, did we talk about this on the show or off the show where we talked about, like, the reason The Rock got the title? I mean, with the whole, he shows up at a movie premiere with the title.
Hey, man, Elimination Chamber is sponsored by G.I. Joe Retaliation.
So I'm going to say, like, I don't know if we said it on the show or not, but, Rock shows up at the premiere of G.I. Joe with the title.
IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, can hate it all they want.
Yeah,
business is business.
Business. Shit's got to happen, and you know what? It makes sense. You can hate it.
We don't even like it.
No, obviously. I don't like it, but I can't bitch at it. I understand it. What are you going to say? I'd prefer to have...
Are we going to be like every other wrestling radio show on the internet probably right now going, this is bullshit, The Rock shouldn't be champion?
There's no fucking point. I mean, if you claim you're a smart mark like everyone else, you know how this shit works. Yeah. They're in it to make money, so what the fuck do you think they're going to do?
Yeah. So we're gonna go through Raw.
Yeah.
There were some tentpole moments, obviously, and then after this we'll have the big discussion about Rock, Punk, the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So Vicky starts the show as the hostess, and pretty much in this whole show she was face.
She was totally face.
There was no.